Hi guys, putting here with a game for you in my Tier 10 British Light Cruiser, the Minotaur. Now my captain skills are Priority Target, Jack of all trades, Bigger Smokescreen, Basic Fire Training, Superintendent, Advanced Fire Training, and of course Concealment. Now I believe my modules I believe on this during this particular game were Main Battery Mods 1, AA Mods 2, AA Mods 3, Damcam 1, Better Steering, and of course Concealment. But as you can see, I also do sometimes run Main Battery Modification 3, which is the reload. I do kind of switch out between those at times, particularly if I don't, particularly if I am going with a carrier. I will definitely make sure I take AA Mods 3. As you can see, we are on tiers of the cruisers or tiers of the players or however funny little tiers you want to put it. And it's everyone's favorite game mode, Epicenter. Now, my initial game plan is to push up to the island at E4 and support any destroyers going into mid. I'm going to try to take an aggressive approach to this. Now, the other thing is this game was recorded prior to the smoke screen changes and the minimap changes to where you could show your hydro, which is why you do not see those rings in this particular recording. As you can see, I have some friends on the enemy team going back and forth with a little bit banter. In chat. I do join these guys after the game and do the GG and kind of poking fun at it out at each other. But this is the island I want to get to. Now what this does is it pretty much gives me free reign over most of the map where the DDs would be. I also have this island to where if I just need to get out of dodge, I can get behind it for cover. For the most part, I'm relatively protected from destroyer torpedoes, except for if somebody is directly south of me in the area of the Hindenburg. But I'm going to angle against that direction. The other thing, what I'm trying to do is actually reverse onto cap. Because if I need to get out of dodge, I don't need to reverse slowly. I need to go forward extremely fast. Shimmy's pretty much at about max range for these guns, and with the floater shells that I do have him smoking up, I do not take the shots because what I want to do is just slowly reverse onto cap, still maintain some sort of angle to where the destroyer to where that Hindenburg was spotted could have sent torpedoes. But I do want to take up this position just to help out any destroyer that is on cap, and I also want to potentially sneak onto cap and deny the enemy cap for a little bit until we can get control of the center or one of the really just to help out the DDs. The other thing reversing on the cap does is as soon as I'm spotted, I'm gonna hit smoke, and all I have to do is stop, and I won't have to worry about whether I'm going too fast to blow cover into my smoke. As you can see, the enemy did get the early cap. I get spotted, immediately hit the smoke, immediately hit a W one time, and like I said, 2 puffs and smoke, and I didn't have to worry about blowing, going too fast. Immediately hit my hydro, and I do believe in this game, as you can see, that I am using the reload and not the AA mods. And like I said, I do like to switch out between the two. Now, because I was spotted and there was only one set of torps sent out, which were the shimmies, I do hit my hydro because I don't know what it was that spotted me. All I know is I was spotted. I hit my smoke and slowed down. Obviously, I did not spot what was getting me because I believe the shimmy was still in smoke. But you might as well hit your hydro. Better safe than sorry. Now, I'm starting to get a little bit tunnel visioned here, which is why you will see me, you know, zoom out, but hold the trigger down and going. But what I'm going to do here is I actually aim and I take one torpedo. Now, all I do is hit my heel while I'm focusing on shooting this Kagero. Because, you know, this guy needs to die. This is why I took up this position, because I have the rate of fire just to melt these guys. And if them being this close, they're not going to last long. But what I do is I let this thing flood. And I'm sure some of you are going, why are you still letting this flood? I'm using my heel to counteract most of the flood. I immediately start going forward for two reasons. Because the smoke cloud's done, but because I am flooding. But what I'm trying to do is actually farm unsinkable. So all I'm going to do is stay dark. Nothing spotted me. We got rid of one destroyer. Now, a couple of the guys on the enemy team, when I was in the Discord, busted my balls about this, and one of them actually got quite pissed off that their Kagero did so well with experience, and I explained to him it's because I pretty much let a flood go just to get an unsinkable. But as you can see, I'm going to just stay dark, but I'm going to try to get in a position to help out the center once again. And as you can see, my heel's back. Just, you know, the flood ends and my heel comes back a couple seconds later. And as you can see by my health bar, I'm pretty much going to get all of my health back. So, for the most part, that enemy DD has done at least 50% of my health twice. But because I have the great battleship, or great British cruiser heel, I get most of that back. Now, I'm going to try to push Cap to help out our destroyer in center here, so we can get this Cap, because if you see, we only have one destroyer left. They have two. Now, my thinking is this. This is Garing smoke. This is USDD smoke. Oh, do I want to get in this smoke? And oh, do I ever want to get rid of the static there? But I want to be in this position for if their destroyers show up, which is pretty much just a shimmy, even though they do have a Kaba. Kaba's not going to really risk it. I want to be in close range to help this guy out with this shimmy when it gets spotted. And the best place for me to be in close range is actually in the center of the Cap. I have his smoke, you know, which is a minute 30 when I got into it, and then I have my smoke. So all I'm going to do is start shooting targets of opportunity while I'm trying to keep my head on a swivel for the destroyer. Now, I send torps through that little gap there, just more of an area of deniement. I believe the gearing is also sending torps in to actually try to hit something. But I see the Des Moines, and I'm going to start focusing him down. I'm going to take shots in on the Cabo when I can, but my main focus is going to be anything broadside, like this Bismarck, and of course, the Des Moines. I want to get rid of that radar for two reasons. It helps me, and it helps my gearing. We only have one destroyer left, but as you can see, we got center. We're also starting to cap the second ring, but now this forces their shimmy to come to cap. And because I was sitting in the gearing smoke, I can now deploy my smoke and sit in here for another minute and a half for the most part, to where, you know, their destroyer needs to make a play and get on cap. Now, I'm not sure if that was the Kaba smoke or if that was shimmy smoke. I don't recall if this Khabarovsk was running smoke, and it looks like it was. Or it could actually be the Neptune. I wasn't 100% sure whose smoke cloud that was. But, you know, it's been plenty of time for that shimmy to get in here, torpedo me. Gonna focus fire on the curve first here, who I believe he said he was cursing me, you know, very much for shooting him. Luckily for me, the Bismarck comes out, or luckily for him, the Bismarck comes out broadside, so I'm gonna focus on the Bismarck. But what I do when I zoom out and just hold the trigger down is I'm actually looking at the mini-map, and I'm looking at chat to see if somebody says anything. I noticed the gentleman ping the shimmy, so my sole focus is going to be on the shimikaze. I do believe he sent torps against something else, but as you can see, this is the reason why I get nice and close. My rate of fire is going to allow me to just pummel this guy if I actually knew how to aim and correctly hit him. But as you can see, I'm doing decent damage, trying to get this guy just before he goes. I don't care that I'm spotted. I'm just going to keep sailing and shoot and kill this guy, because if that guy dies, that's going to make our life so much easier for the gearing. Now at this point, I hit the F8 key for the gearing to try to set a smoke screen for me. Kind of wish gentlemen would have turned towards me to set this instead of just putting it there, but you know what? Anything to break anybody's line of sight. Another smoke screen from him that I can use is a great thing. I did compliment this guy. I believe might have been after the game, because sitting in the center here is a very intense moment. But as you can see, I have done what I prefer to do in my cruisers, which is really hunt, kill, harass destroyers. Now, of course, I'm going to shoot at battleships or anything else that is that I consider a target of opportunity, but my main focus is usually destroyers. If you get rid of the destroyers, you have a better chance of winning than if not. Now, if you're wondering why I'm doing a ripple fire instead of just shooting all my guns at once, it's because I know the APOC guys will shoot into smoke. What I'm trying to do is angle my ship a little bit to show them while maintaining all of my guns, move back and forth in the smoke, but maintain a ripple fire because it is a little bit harder to determine where you are, because you're moving, and not all of your guns are going at once for the guy to figure out where you are. Now I do get hit with some lag, which means some of the salvos do come off at once. As the curve first gets a nice hit on me in the smoke. Now luckily for me, I was able to hit my heel, which I believe saved me from his follow-up salvo. But I wanted to hit that guy because he was broadside. Now, I stopped shooting a little bit to kind of let him guess where I'm going in the smoke. Deploy my smoke so they don't know where, try to keep them guessing. I'm going to send torps against this Bismarck because, well, why not? I have them, and I don't really believe I'm going to hit friendly. But at this point, this guy needs to die fast, and the fastest way to kill him is just to fire all of my guns at once. But I know the curvers there will shoot into smoke. As you can see, when I do sight up, sometimes my aiming reticle is not where it needs to be. I'm gonna hit my hydro just because I wasn't sure about the Neptune. His torpedoes, but I'm just gonna sit here and try to paper cut the curve first to death. But of course, he is getting focused fire. The other thing about angling sometimes is if you do get one gun out, it does kind of help you a little bit in the fact that it is one less gun. As I finally finish off the curve first and get Confederate, immediately gonna focus fire on the turrets. But I'm just going to maintain the ripple fire, move back, move forth, rinse, repeat. It kind of, at this point, we're getting this game wrapped up. For those of you that don't know, I usually have a hard time actually cracking 100k in my Minotaur. Because I do focus on destroyers a little bit more. Now, with nothing out there nothing that is out there spotted, is when I'm going to start moving up to where the the Neptune and the last cruiser is were spotted right behind that island there where they were shooting from. Now, anybody paying attention to chat there, I'm just being a little bit funny with the Minotaur's OP, please buff. I do let everybody know that it was pretty much our gearing that made this possible. While I may have been out there getting the glory, doing the damage, getting the kills, whatever, this was all possible by the gearing. I could not have done this if the gearing did not support me. I've always been a big believer in supporting teammates because that is the best way to win. The gearing smoked me twice. Well, technically he did smoke me twice. I did utilize his smoke one time. As for smoke, and he did smoke me the second time, which allowed me to stay on cap for about 5 minutes unspotted, even though we had that little incident where my smoke ran out. He wasn't in position to give me smoke, but, his smoke is what made this possible. Now, what I'm trying to do is, usually the best situation here would have been Des Moines go behind the other way, me come through this gap, because the Neptune would not be able to, have both of his gun or all of his guns looking at us. But what I'm thinking is I'm going to take this a little bit wide. I'm going to use the island that is directly in front of me, the bigger one, to come out for the Neptune, just to give me some distance from his torpedoes, because you can see my hydro's down. I'm going to send one set of torpedoes, send the second set of torpedoes more as a denial to stop him from pushing out. Luckily for us, our Conqueror just deletes the Kaba, which leaves just the Neptune and what is it, the Des Moines, or whatever the cruiser is. I forget what it is. I do believe it is the Des Moines. But like I said, I wanted to take this wide. What I should have done was actually just send one set of torpedoes, not the second set, so I could have at least one set on this side. But with the gearing being there and the friendly Des Moines, it's kind of a wishy-washy situation because I would be torping in front of friendlies. As you can see, the gearing's kind of rushing the Neptune. I don't advise to do this, but it and the game kind of doesn't matter. No need to ripple fire. There's no need to slow down and smoke. Gonna finish off the Neptune, and I'm going to pretty much say our gearing has been avenged. We are not going to get to this Des Moines. We are easily going to win this game due to points. So now we are just going to go check out the post-battle results. 115,000 damage. I farmed that unsinkable, got a Confederate, a Dreadnought, and with the 4 ships, second place to the Yamato with base experience of 2100. Yamato just barely beat me. Money screen, it is what it is. 115,000 damage, all coming from AP. I know you guys are shocked. AP from a British cruiser. Unfortunately, did not get any torpedo hits. But kind of a rare thing for me in this thing. Potential damage close to 1 million. Not impressive, but not exactly the wisest thing in a Minotaur when you can easily be deleted. I hope you guys really did enjoy this video. I'm not sure what's going on with Supremacy League, but I still believe they are doing Saturdays at 9 o'clock Eastern, which is unfortunate because that is when clan battles is going on. But if you're not part of a clan or partaking in any of that, please don't forget to check out Sea Raptor on Twitch. for some Supremacy action. Please remember to compliment good teamwork, good team play, like that gearing. We are quick to report, slow to compliment. Please keep your replays coming in. The email for that is in the description. We appreciate all the support you guys do give us. Please hit that like and subscribe button and have yourselves one heck of a great day.